Welcome to my channel, Yes America. As you all know, we show you all the beautiful things that you need to do here in New York and beyond. As you can see, the weather looks so awesome, beautiful, because we have less than a week for summer and it's looking good. And I hope this summer is gonna be great. On this channel, I'm going to bring you all the beautiful places that you need to know, you need to visit right here in New York and any other state that you can think of. But today we are at Pier 86 and I'm going to show you the United States Coast Guard ship that just logged in at the Pier 86. And you can also come here to come and look at it, to come and see it. I'm going to show you the outside, the inside, right here on this channel. So guys, this is the Coast Guard boat that you can see, the United States Coast Guard boat right here. We are going to go inside shortly for you to see what's inside this Coast Guard boat. This is the 1790 United States Coast Guard boat.
Bay class icebreaker. So we're a tugboat by size and design, but our main focus is ice breaking, which means in the summertime we can come do fun stuff like go to Fleet Week because there's no ice. But we're stationed in Bayonne, so we're not far from home right now. There's two of these ships in Bayonne, and that is primarily for the Hudson River. So something close to 70 to 80% of the heating oil that goes to the northeast flows through the Hudson River up to Albany and a couple other places before you get to Albany. And if that shuts down in the wintertime, maximum demand for heating oil, people don't get heat for their houses, power plants run out of fuel, power goes out, and even stuff like last year, there was one of the prisons up there was running really close to the bottom of their oil supplies, and if they missed a shipment, the prison would run out of fuel, which doesn't sound like our biggest concern, but when you think of what type of scenario that would create, middle of winter, the prison runs out of fuel. That is a big deal. Cool. So what we do here on the back of the boat, the stern, is primarily towing. So if we have to tow anybody in an emergency, this is our towing bit. This bit can hold more weight than what the ship can realistically pull. So there's nothing that we're going to tow that could bend these bits whatsoever. They're so structurally built into the ship.
They go down?
Yes, yeah, the structure of this goes pretty much to the keel. There's some cool pictures of the boat laid out here on the table. If you want to walk around and see, then the next part of this tour, we're going to go up here to the boat deck. Important note about the stairs, they are steep. Up is a lot easier than down. Feel free to down forwards or back. It's easier. what we refer to as the boat deck, hence the boat. So this is, we call it a cutter boat medium. It's a small, rigid hull, inflatable boat. Has its own navigation system. It's not meant to operate too far away from the cutter, but it can carry 6 people and does over 30 miles an hour, so 30 knots per nautical miles per hour. We would use this for law enforcement. So if we're going to do just local law enforcement on the river, or go out and regulate fisheries offshore, we're going to put our boarding team over using this boat. Also, search and rescue. This boat gives us a lot of capability. The cutter itself can only do 15 knots, so just over 15 miles an hour. And when we're doing that, the weight that we're making is about 6 feet tall. And if we do that in a harbor, we'll flip people's boats over. So our only way to get places fast is using this. The cutter does great moving slow and bringing a lot of capability somewhere, but the boat gets us there fast. This whole apparatus is what lifts it into the water. At first we lift it up, and then the whole cradle rotates out and lowers the boat down. holidays and events like this. Every flag has a meaning. A lot of them are alphanumeric for code signals, and when we put them up for dress shift, they're actually required. You have to look through it and make sure you didn't spell anything at all. Right? So you don't want to give a signal or spell a bad word, or you could accidentally organize them in a bad way. So they should have no meaning right now. You'll see a lot of ships when they're underway off their port side, outermost yardarm, will fly 4 signal flags, and that's the ship's call sign. So that's typically what if any Coast Guard cutter is flying the signal flag, that's usually it these days. We don't talk much with signals anymore. Off the jack staff, we fly just the field of stars. The Navy flies a flag, the "Don't Tread on Me" flag. Have you ever seen that? So the Navy flies that. We refer to that as the Union Jack. It's just tradition to fly that off the bow, and then off the stern is where we'll fly the American flag. Except when we're underway at sea, we'll fly it off of the telescope. Colossal. This is the anchor. Primary reason for that we use the bow of the ship for is the anchoring. Anchor actually goes down into the ship, the anchor chain does. We have 6 shots of anchor chain on board, which is 80 foot. A shot of chain is 80 feet. And then attached to the other side of this in here is the anchor. In order to let it go, we have to trip this pin, release the brake with this cat's paw up. So there's 3 things preventing the anchor from dropping without us wanting it to at any given time. So we're going to move this next group up and start heading off. Any other questions? Off if you want. Okay. So Coast Guard Cutter Sturgeon Bay was commissioned in 1988. It's the newest of the 9 Bay class cutters that we have. The first one was commissioned in 1978. Most of these serve on the Great Lakes, but there are 3 that were built in a different shipyard that they were built in San Diego, and they serve on the East Coast. This is one of them. So there's 2 stationed here in New Jersey, 1 up in Maine, and our primary purpose is ice breaking in support of heating oil movements in the winter time. So in the summertime, we perform a lot of other roles as well. So we do law enforcement, we do coastal security. So if you've noticed our other you can't see them now, but the other small Coast Guard boats out here are performing security over the harbor. We can do that as well. We can do aids to navigation, so all the buoys and fixed aids that are on the side of the shore that help ships navigate. We partake in fixing those, and also search and rescue. So every Coast Guard asset can do search and rescue. That becomes a primary mission in the summer for us. It can and it has, though it's never our primary mission. So as far as I've taken the cutter in my 2 years on board, I've gone up to Maine. We've done Portland, Maine, been to Boston, and as far south as Baltimore. The ship has in the past gone all the way down into the Gulf of Mexico during the Deepwater Horizon oil spill. So we're able to get pretty far offshore, get pretty far around the country. The ship has also been to Halifax, so if we're going somewhere outside the US, we'd probably be in Canada.